Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the 2021 Chapter Leadership Meeting. It's interesting, this is the first opportunity we get to do this hybrid. So while some of us have done some hybrid instruction, this is our first hybrid Chapter Leadership Meeting. So to those of you in the virtual world, greetings, thank you for joining us. And for those of you who were able to make it live, thank you. I've also noted that a lot of you are feeling the way many of us feel about the mask protocol. At least one of you still is wearing one. We'll just let that go and welcome you. So again, we're really happy you're here. It's going to be an informative, this is sort of your session. We do have to run some awards and some other things, but make this your own. The first thing I'd like to do is welcome Rich Costello to come up here. Rich is going to introduce our 2022 AEE officers. So, Rich?
While we're waiting on Rich, all of our attendees joining from around the world, can you see us and can you hear us? Maybe a thumbs up or a wave? There we go. Thanks, Coach. Here we go. Okay.
Harry.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Tim. Here is our slate of 2022 AEE offices. So if any of you are here today, could you please stand up if you see a picture there? Come on, let's get some people standing up here. Have a round of applause for two. Appreciate Adam and also Elton there. Thank you all for volunteering to be officers for AEE. I did it a long time ago, and I remember the time and effort put into it, so we want to thank you all for volunteering this year to be the 2022 AEE officers. And for those of you that are remote, I also want to thank you for your service and volunteering your precious time. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mal if he's around. Okay.
Or did you have something else? I'm good to go. Okay. Well, okay, so next we're going to have Mel Klaus. She's going to update us on some new chapters, and since most of you don't know this, please congratulate her. She's getting married in a couple weeks, and we're all excited about that. So.
Thank you. I just want to thank the new chapters that we have. I know we have Guatemala, and we are so excited to see what impact you can make in your community and spreading the AEE mission and vision. So we want to thank you for your commitment and all of the efforts that you've put in to welcome you as a new chapter.
Sorry to surprise you with that, Mel, but I couldn't really resist, you know. Sorry.
I'll take it.
So the International Travel Fund, you know, this is usually a really exciting moment when we get a chance to help our international members make the journey over to the event every year. And of course, some years work better than others, right? So unfortunately, our international numbers are slightly down this year, but the good news is we'll hang on to some of this travel fund and hopefully get more and more international folks here next year. We did have a number of chapters that kindly donated to this fund. You can see them up there in North Carolina, Chicago, Leanna, Ohio Capital, Piedmont, Huntsville, National Capital, East Africa, Kenya, thank you especially, Silicon Valley, Southern Ohio, Northern Ohio, Oklahoma, Greater Philadelphia, Hamilton, New England, and Kuwait. So again, thank you immensely. It'll be it'll be extremely important next year when hopefully we're all past this crazy pandemic and operating a world more like we used to understand it. But at this time, and listen, we're going to encourage you all to again donate for next year so that we can bring even more people in. So thank you. We didn't squander any of it. It's all sitting around an account looking for recipients. And we usually have more recipients than we have funds. So maybe next year will be different. Our next item on the agenda is going to be an AEE scholarship update. So Priscilla is going to update us on that. And let me turn it over to you. Go get it.
Thank you, Tim. Hello, everybody. Welcome to everybody that is attending online and in person. Well, thank you, everybody, for your presence today. It's very exciting to address this because the scholarship is my passion, and I'm always eager to see how many people have been helped through the AEE Foundation Scholarship Program. Since inception in 1983, we have been awarded $1,150,000 in scholarships to helping 1,740 students worldwide. So for that, I am very grateful because most of you chapters donations make this happen. For that, round of applause to you. And because the recognition needs to be made, I am going to start with a beautiful donation from the chapter, Lebanon chapter. They have donated $2,500 to local scholarships, and that is an amazing effort from this international chapter. And for that, I will say that you are going to pose for the picture, giving us that amount. Yes, sir. The second one is New York City. This chapter is amazing, and I'm going to have to tell you guys that they are donating $3,000 for the unrestricted, $500 for the Ruth Whitlock Scholarship, and wait, there's more. They are challenging other chapters right now. They are going to match it up. If you are coming with a new a new amount, they're going to match it. Let's just say, for example, Northern Ohio wants to donate $1,000, they will match it up. So we want to hear from you guys.
That's for the, we'll match up to $5,000 for Al Thuman's endowed scholarship.
Match it up until $5,000 for the Al Thuman Endowment. Thank you so much, New York. And for that, come over here for the picture. Yes, sir. Fred Goldner, ladies and gentlemen.
Come on, a seat. Let's go.
Come on.
So we're going to bring the New York chapter folks up here because Fred has started this challenge and donating $5,000 to the Al Thuman ongoing scholarship. He's also issued a challenge. Is that right, Fred? Everybody else, all the other chapters are challenged to do the same or some contribution. So.
Let's all shift that way a little bit. There we go. Good. Move in together. That's it. Big smiles. Hold on. Again. One last one. Looking good.
And thank you, New York chapter. That's incredibly generous and much appreciated in Al's memory. So, are you good?
I am using my...
Use those till you find yours.
Thank you. These are mine. Our next in list is Chicago, Illinois, with 1,500. Ken is not going to be present, but we are going to take the picture and send it out. The next on the list is New England, $5,000. Adam, come for the picture. Adam Jennings, ladies and gentlemen. And the last but not least, the hometown, Atlanta, Georgia chapter, $1,000. So Jacqueline Stevens is going to pose for the picture today. Ladies and gentlemen.
Where's this from?
Atlanta chapter. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jackson. Appreciate it. Read it.
My apologies. I am missing Central Illinois chapter, $1,000.
Priscilla, you're not supposed to have them make it out to cash.
Money is money, team.
Big smile. One more. There we go. All right.
Our children and grandchildren appreciate this. They are the future, right? So we need to do this. We have to give back. Next up is our Executive Director, Bill Kent. He's going to provide an update for all of you and probably add some flesh to a couple things we've already talked about. Welcome, Bill.
Thank you, Tim.
Thanks, buddy.
Okay, thanks to all the chapters for the donations to the travel fund and certainly for the scholarship donations. It certainly goes a long way to continuing the mission of AEE. I want to thank all of those who are in person today. It's an intimate group, but we're certainly thrilled to see you all and be in person. And all of those joining, a couple of hundred from around the world. We see some of your faces on the monitors, so thanks for joining us virtually. It's our first hybrid chapter leadership meeting. So this also is acting as the official annual meeting of the AE members and will going forward. So thanks for everyone for being here and participating in person and virtually. I just wanted to give an update on a few things that have been going on at AEE, some news, and really just and have the opportunity to answer any of your questions. So our board of directors, we expanded and really gotten the board much more involved and engaged over the past couple of years. They've done tremendous work, and so I want to thank all the board. And one of the things we did as a part of our strategic planning sessions was AEE has had a mission statement that's been in existence for decades, but we didn't have a vision statement, a long-term vision that we could utilize as kind of the flagship statement of AEE and what we're about. So I'm pleased to today announce the AEE vision statement and then also an updated mission statement. So the AEE vision is leading the global energy community to meet the challenges of a clean and sustainable future, okay? That's our vision statement. You'll be seeing a lot of it. Please help us get that message out as you're promoting AEE and the work that we do. So leading the global energy community to meet the challenges of a clean and sustainable future. So our mission, how are we going to accomplish that? To shape the future of the energy industry through networking, energy awareness, education, training, professional certification, and recognition. So those are the things that we do. I think it better describes our mission, what we do. So that's how we're going to lead the global community to a clean energy, clean and sustainable future. So I want to thank the board for all their time and effort, lots of strategic planning discussions to confirm our vision and our mission. In addition, when the AE staff, we're undergoing strategic planning in addition to confirm and make sure we align and execute the vision and the mission of the AE board. And one of the things we said is, who are the people of AEE? What do we do? What are our values? And so we spent a lot of time in strategic planning, and we came up with these core values for AEE, and I think they're great and they're right on target. So the first one, we talk about, we're a family. AEE, we value people first. That's our first one, is we value people first. Making a positive impact in people's lives while delivering high quality and responsive service. So value people first. The next one, we are a global family, and we are a global family, whether we've got, I see people here from, we've got Kuwait, Canada, Lebanon, Jordan, we've got lots of countries represented here today, even during the pandemic, and lots of countries represented around the world. So we are a global family, and that's core to who we are. People first and a global family. I think we really mean that and we live by it, and I think it's good to confirm that as one of our values. And then we're guided by the highest standards. We certainly want to have, integrity, ethics, honesty, loyalty, good conduct, and so guided by the highest standards. Another thing is our industry's really been a male-dominated over the past decades, but we celebrate and value diversity and inclusion. And so we want to continue to get everyone involved, everyone, regardless of background, location, religion, race, sex, anything, everyone involved and engaged. And so we celebrate and we want to be very diverse and inclusive as we go forward. And then finally, our last value is that we are innovative, okay? So I think family, people first, high standards, diverse and inclusive, and then innovative, continuously striving for professional and personal growth, okay? All while achieving the solutions to make a change and an impact going forward. So those are the values of AEE. That's what we do and how we live by on a daily basis at the AE staff, and we just wanted to share those with you today. Membership, Mel's our membership director. We're glad to have her. And I wanted to mention that we spent a lot of time at the board level, at the staff level, and also with our membership committee to set membership levels based on essentially income from the World Bank. And so I know we put this out earlier this year. I know we've had lots of comments on this, and the membership committee is evaluating this now to see if we need to make adjustments. So if you have comments on our pricing for the membership levels related to income, GNI, GDP, we'd certainly welcome those. Send those to Mel. She will get those and share those with the membership committee. But we do have 4 levels now. And so we want to be fair and we want to be transparent, but we also want to ensure that we're meeting the needs of the market and able to execute the mission of AEE. And I will say also is, even though the World Bank may put out these levels or others, or maybe GDP figures, we always are willing and able to make accommodations for extreme or extenuating circumstances, whether it's economic, whether it's a natural disaster, et cetera. So if there's extenuating circumstances, please reach out to Mel, and we want to work with you and support you to ensure that the members can remain active within AEE. On our corporate membership, We had a one-size-fits-all. I think Buster mentioned that earlier. Buster Barksdale, our current president, in our executive committee meeting this morning. And really, whether you had 3 people or 3,000, it was the same rate. So now we've added different levels to our corporate membership, which really, based on the number of employees or staff you have, then there's a silver, gold, and platinum level with escalating benefits and cost in conjunction with the number of staff you have at your company. So we're pleased to announce that. That's been going very well, and so we certainly want to continue our growth of corporate members as we move forward. So I mentioned this is the annual meeting of AEE members. One of the things the board has been engaged in over the past almost 2 years in conjunction with our governance committee is a review of the AEE bylaws and governance structure. And so we made a couple of changes, and one of the changes is that the chapter leadership meeting will now become the annual meeting for AEE members. So we'll be doing this, and when we have the meeting, it'll be done virtually, so anyone, anywhere can participate. And so this chapter meeting, or this leadership meeting today, is our annual meeting of members. We also have an executive committee that met earlier, and typically an executive committee is a small subset of a board of directors, but really our executive committee is different. It's a broader group that supports and works with the board, provides input and leadership. So we're renaming the executive committee to the Global Leadership Team. So if you see that name, Global Leadership Team is now what the executive committee was, to be more representative. And then I think finally is, as we're trying to be a diverse and inclusive global organization, we've had lots of our key volunteers from around the world doing same things as maybe here in the U.S. and internationally, and called different things. So we're changing the name of some of the key officers. So we're going to regional vice presidents in the U.S. and regional vice presidents internationally. So instead of assistant directors for international member development, ADIMDs, those will now be regional vice presidents. And beginning in 2022, all of those regional vice presidents around the world in all the different regions will be elected as officers of AEE. So starting January and next year for the elections, you'll be electing your regional vice presidents in the U.S. and internationally for your region. So those are some things that I think show us more as a global organization and also better, reflect the consistency across our operations. So I want to thank everybody for the donations to the AEE Foundation. We have a 501c3 as our foundation, and we have Rusty. Rusty's here. He leads the selection process and review of all of the applicants every year. Priscilla does a great job of getting and managing the scholarship program. There's a board of directors for the foundation, and last year they approved a scholarship for Al Tooman in the amount of $4,000 for next year, and also through some generous donations, a scholarship for Ruth Whitlock for 2022 also. So those were approved actually earlier this year by the AE Foundation Board. And our board of directors came together for some strategic planning in August in Atlanta, and as a part of that, we wanted to make an impact. And we decided, actually the board decided to make a very generous donation from AEE to the AEE Foundation on behalf of AEE. The board approved a substantial donation, and that is to fund in perpetuity the Al Tooman Scholarship and the Ruth Whitlock Scholarship. So I'm proud to announce today that starting in 2022 and continuing on indefinitely, the Al Tooman Scholarship will be awarding 3 $5,000 scholarships annually to the top 3 applicants to for the scholarship program. And in addition to that, we're going to be doing a Ruth Whitlock Scholarship, one a year, in the amount of $2,500 to the top international female applicant. We talked to Ruth about this. It's what she wanted to do. So we're very pleased. This is significant, big impact. 3 Al Tooman scholarships, essentially forever, and a Ruth Whitlock forever to the top female applicant. So I want to thank all of you for everything you've done to AEE to get us to this point, and thank the board for doing this. It's very generous donation to the AEE Foundation. And then finally, I think Priscilla mentioned it. I just want to confirm. So the New York City chapter is donating up to $5,000 to the Al Tooman Scholarship, as a match for anyone else that makes donations to the Al Tuman Scholarship. Fred, is Fred here? Did I get that right? Devetta, did I get that right? Okay, so a challenge from the New York City chapter to everyone attending in person, around the world, listening. So up to a $5,000 match, $5,000 total for the Al Tuman Scholarship to help continue to fund that. So I want to thank the New York City chapter for that challenge and also for the generous donations, both already to the Al Tuman and Ruth Whitlock Scholarship. And then I think just a couple of other things is we've put a lot of effort on resources for our chapters, okay? Providing resources to help you and support you and work closer with you. We've got a SharePoint page with resources you can see, lots of webinars, and even a chapter website template that many of our chapters are beginning to use. A lot of effort and focus on working together with you and supporting you. Michelle Whitlock, who is participating virtually, are working, and with Danielle to support and work with our chapters, okay? And I think probably the final thing, no, a couple more things. Sorry, Tim. We're pleased to announce a new member benefit beginning now, so that for the AEE reference book library, the books, the Energy Management Handbook, the Guide to Energy Management, all of these, Handbook of Energy Auditing, these handbooks now are available via a digital subscription online for $35 a year, okay? So you can subscribe to the over 200 books in the library, $35 per year for AEE members. If you're not a member, it's $125 a year, okay? So it's a new member benefit. We're excited. We've been working with River Publishers, who publishes all the books for us. So we've been working with them. It's a new member benefit. Should be available to go ahead and subscribe to that on the website. If not, it should be there any day. Just reach out to Mel. She can give you all the details on that, okay? So another member benefit we're pleased to announce. And so one of our big initiatives is to engage the climate community. All the work that you're doing around the world, we're certainly saving energy, we're creating economic development, creating jobs, but we're also making an impact on climate change. And so we need to get that message out more. We've got we are Earth's energy engineers, and we've been promoting that as a message, so we need to get that message out more. So I'm pleased to say that we've applied to be an observer for COP26 through the UNFCCC. We've been approved. Myself and Mary Elise and some other key members of the AEE community will be attending COP26 in 2 weeks in Glasgow, Scotland. And so if you're planning to be there, anyone or you got any companies that you know that we should be meeting with there, please let either myself or Mary Elise know. 2022, looking ahead, will we be in person fully? I hope so. We're in person now. We're going to continue to be in person. We're going to be in Cincinnati, Ohio in March. We're going to be in Seattle, Washington for West in June. We'll be in Atlanta next year in September for our 45th anniversary of AEE. And then we'll be doing AEE Europe in Dublin, Ireland next October. So looking forward to more in person, seeing a huge group next year in Atlanta. Hopefully COVID will be a thing in the past, a distant memory next September. So with that, I want to thank everyone for all that you do, you continue to do, and enjoy the rest of the chapter leadership meeting.
So, Mr. Kent, before you walk away,
Yes, sir.
I understand that there's a surprise. So if you'll just stand still, we will get you surprised.
Wait a minute. See, Alan and you, I'm not sure.
We got you stuck here.
Okay.
You can't escape.
Yeah, so hi again, everyone. It's really a big pleasure to see you all. So, Bill, you've been saying that the first two core values of AEE are, I'm going to turn you my back, or would you stand next to me?
Okay.
Okay, so the first two values of AEE being a people's first organization and a global family. We will see when the opportunity came whether AEE lived up to this, to these values or not. And I would like to testify about something. Hadn't we been a family, if this had been just a business meeting, this is something one wouldn't normally say in such an assembly. But as your, family member, I'd like to share something. All the staff of AEE maybe know the most of it, but not everybody knows about it. Maybe they've heard about it on the news, but they don't know really what went on. And I would like to make this really known to everyone, what AEE did in such circumstance. I'll just take 2 minutes. So in the past 2 years, there had been, so the Lebanese people has seen their lifetime savings disappearing at the banks. Okay, so we were robbed our lifetime savings. And then came, people losing their jobs, revolution, all kinds of circumstances, companies closing. We were not able to transfer the money abroad. So the small donation we gave, it's in what we call dollars, so Lebanese dollars. So we're not even allowed to pay our membership with a credit card anymore. So because our dollars became local dollars. And to add to that, the small detail of COVID-19, which really became small in this scheme of things. And then on the cherry on the top was the Beirut explosion, which took away 1/3 of the city with so many souls and so forth. So as responsible for the chapter, I was compelled to say something to AEE because we did not want to default on our membership. And so from the one end, this is a duty towards the members, and from the other end, it's really awkward for us to keep asking for help and support. And because, when so many things are taken away from you, you are left with few things that are those that matter the most, and one of them is your dignity. So, so pushed by obligation, we reached out to AEE, explaining the situation and asking for some kind of support. So I want to just mention the phone calls, the text messages, the emails from practically everyone, whether staff or friends or board members, checking on us and confirming that we are one big family. And I recall a letter, which I would like to highlight and to make known, that came to us from Bill. So it's a 1 A4 letter, but there is a sentence in it that says AEE became stronger and richer the moment the Lebanese professionals chose to join the AEE family. And the letter said, Bill said, we are honored to be given the opportunity to now contribute or to support our family members. So this is in reply to the 2 core values stated up there. This has been extended over 2 years. We're really proud family members of AEE. I'd like just to read, because to read what we replied, and I want this to be known. So when one of the biggest explosions in history strikes, not only does it remove the roofs, the walls, the cloth, and the skins, but also all the hidden veils that could mask the soul. It shows the bare essence of people in the time of truth, and it reveals the beauty of loving friends and of caring family, such as the AEE friends and family. So thank you. Now, emotions aside, we'd like to present a symbolic gift which is made from the cedar trees of Lebanon. They're called the cedars of God, because so some of them live for a bit more than 3,000 years. So it says, may AEE grow majestically like the cedars of God, because it deserves to.
before we get a picture, I just want to say, you know, throughout all of this, the work that you all have continued to do, they did an internship, how many weeks?
8 weeks.
8 weeks internship throughout all of these trying times. And it was so inspirational, the work that they were doing with all the speakers and all of the students. And so you continue to inspire us, and we're so proud to have you as part of the family. Okay, let's get a picture over here.
So having known Bill for a while, I can tell you it's not often we get him very emotional, but this surprise is priceless, right? So. Thanks a million, folks. We really appreciate it. You know, a few minutes ago, New York chapter issued a challenge for matching funds. Apparently, it didn't take much because we already have $500 donated by Peter Garforth. Peter's a longtime AEE member, so thank you, Peter. And we also have $50 from William Jacobs. So we're going to find a way to make sure we get that whole $5,000 out of New York. Don't worry about it. Seems like a goal, anyhow. Okay, well, moving right along, we are now going to our chapter leadership forum, and it's a little different this year. We really didn't assign a major topic. What we've done, however, is provided you with a few staff members up here and some international folks, and we're going to actually have everything roll through, each of them go through, say what they do, how you can contact them, some of the things they may do to help your chapters, your leadership. And you guys have mics, so you can do it sitting or up here. What's your preference? Sitting? I saw a lot of votes for sitting. Mel Klaus is our membership director. So, Mel, you have the floor. And the wedding.
We have everybody up here? Yeah? Is everybody up here, or do we need to? No, DeVetto.
Come on up.
That's what I saw that. You want to take my, here, come on up.
Yeah, take mine.
Place.
All right, well, I am Mel. For those of you who don't know me, you all know I'm getting married now, so quite the surprise, but thank you, Tim. I am new to AEE. I joined back in March. I am so happy to be a part of this community. It has been so inspiring already. I am here for any of your membership needs. I will be at the membership booth all week for those of you that are here in person, so I'd be happy to talk to you. Come stop by and see me. But for those of you who are here virtually, feel free to reach out if you have any membership questions. I'm happy to answer.
Okay, thanks, Mel. Appreciate that. So, Mary Elise Cox, who is celebrating her 16th anniversary with AEE. Thank you, Mary Elise, for those 16 years. Is our international program director. And Mary Elise, it's up to you.
Yes, so hi everyone. It's so good to be here and see each of you in person on the screen. I'm like looking, there's Albert and Benoit, hi. It's so good to see everybody. I handle, well, like Tim said, 16 years. So my first AE World was 16 years ago, and that was my first experience with AEE. And it was the hardest event of my life. I think I slept 2 hours every night. I didn't eat anything but a Snickers bar each day. I mean, it was horrible, but look at me, 16 years later, here I am. And it's because of all of you, members, board members, volunteers, and all of our partners. So that was a side note, but so I handle our international training and certification with our training partners. So we build capacity for AE training and certification internationally with local training partners, and many of those are AE chapters. And many of you are here today, and thank you for all you do. And if you are working with a chapter in a country where there is not a training provider servicing your territory, feel free to reach out to me. Happy to talk you through the process and how it works, and just help you to build that as part of the offering of your chapter in your country.
Thanks, Mary Lisa. And if I remember right, your first year was actually the year of the hurricane in Austin, right? Where we were suddenly displaced from the convention center and had to scramble into a hotel. So a little bit of baptism by fire. I have no idea why you stuck it out, but I'm really glad you did. So thank you for being here. So Helen Johnson, our certification director. And Helen, you also have to plug your 5K run.
Oh. Okay, I'm Helen, Certification Development Director, which is a new position we created a couple years ago. I'm also part of the leadership team that oversees the certification department. We primarily handle U.S. certifications, but we also handle accredited certifications, which are ANSI in the U.S. and ENAC in Spain. In addition, my department is handling the globalization process. Globalization is where we're trying to have one certification program that is applicable to every country, the global market. We have several programs completed and still have a few in process. We're trying to get through all of our certification programs, so bear with us. Again, it's a new process and it does take some time. Also, we handle remote proctoring. And again, we started working that platform in 2019. So then when COVID hit in 2020, we were ready. We, thankfully were able to launch. And we have administered remote proctoring around the world to about 4,000 exams. So I look forward to working with you, and I'm happy to help you with any questions that you have.
And you almost forgot to talk about the 5K.
Okay. Oh, well, that's also, Priscilla was going to talk about that, but in March, we are doing a 5K to support the foundation.
Yes, and people need to enlist wherever you are from, national, international. Just please register, make the effort, make the change, contribute for a very good cause. People in here and you in your neck of woods, please join us. All the information is in the website. Helen, what's the website?
You can search Running for Energy Efficiency 5K. Or I will probably personally talk to everyone later and try to get you to sign up. So.
And the best part is you can do it virtually.
Yes.
So
Yes, you can do it virtually.
you don't even have to break a sweat.
You can run, you can walk, yes.
Like days?
Yeah, and then on Friday at 7 a.m., we're meeting right over off of Canal Street to do a 3-mile run. So please, and it'll be a nice, slow, easy jog. So everyone is welcome to join.
All right, there's a challenge for you. Pay your money, get your thing, and then don't worry about, no, never mind. So next up, we're very fortunate to have Lori Wiegand Jackson with us. She is also going to be our newest board member at large beginning next year. And Lori, would you mind giving us a Seawheel update?
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And it's so nice to see some familiar faces out here, virtual as well. And if you don't know me, I'm Lori Wiegand Jackson. I am chair of the governing board for the Council on Women in Energy and Environmental Leadership. We call that Seawheel, and that is a division of the Association of Energy Engineers. And this year, and actually for the last couple of years, one of the things that has been really important to the development of Seawheel is that we launched a chapter liaison initiative where every chapter, US and global, would have an individual who was identified to communicate between Seawheel and the local chapter. And that was really building a bridge between the local community of AEE and Seawheel. Again, our purpose and mission is really to increase the membership of women within the organization at every level, and then to support women in terms of career development through mentoring and programming and scholarships and lots of great things that we do. We do have 2/3 of the AEE US chapters represented with a chapter liaison, so I'm very excited about that. But that means there's a third left. So if you're not sure if your chapter has one, you can see me afterwards. I have the list. And the person to contact, if you know you don't have one but would like to put forth someone to be the liaison, her name is Deb Lenny, and her email address is Deborah, DEBORAH, .Lenny, LENNY, at nrg.com. So Deb is the person who oversees the U.S. liaisons, and then for our international Seawheel groups. Oh, and let me just say that in addition to the chapter liaison, this year we started to launch Seawheel groups. And this was an initiative that was really started by the international community. It grew somewhat organically. And we have Seawheel groups in Bangladesh, Chile, Kenya, India, Jamaica, Jordan, Palestine, Tunisia, Turkey, Ukraine, and most recently, we're just starting to develop one in Morocco, all associated with local AEE chapters. And so the idea of having it be more than just a liaison, somebody who's communicating back and forth between the organization and the local chapter, but actually becoming a network or group of women within the chapter that meet together, support each other, and provide programming and support to the local chapter is also something that we're focusing on developing in the United States. And I think at this point we have 5 U.S. Seawheel groups in development. So if you're interested on the international front and need more information, definitely reach out to me and or any staff member here at AE. They'll connect you to me. Michelle Whitlock is our liaison to the executive committee, to Bill Kent and others. And so you could reach out to Michelle at MICHELLE at aeecenter.org. So that's been big news for us. We have great programs that we put forward, but for this year, just want to highlight, we did give 11 scholarships out to young women who are studying STEM education. We have some awards for Seawheel Champions that we'll be talking about here in a moment. And if you are interested at all in participating and helping to address the gender gap in our industry, please reach out to me at any time. I'm very willing to have conversations about that. We continue to try to do all that we can to help bring more women into the organization, to help grow AEE, and to bring some more diversity into the organization. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry. So next up, we have Elaine, and he thinks he's going to sit, but that's not true. So Elaine, would you come up here, please? See, many of you don't know this, but he has a nickname. And he earned the nickname at one of the World Energy meetings when we had a, let's see, it was an acrobat? Comedian
slash acrobat.
All I know is some of us know him as Chia.
Yeah. So my name is Alan Aoun. I am the ADIMD for International Student Affairs. So my job is to assist our international student chapters and international student members all over the world. And I'm glad to say that currently we have 30 student chapters all over the world, and looking forward to increase this number in the coming years. So also I'm here to assist you. So if you're interested in starting a new chapter, you want some help with the registration process and how you can start your own chapter, you have questions, so you can reach out to me. So if you're interested in starting a new student chapter, you may contact me, you may reach out to me, and if you're not interested, I will reach out to you and convince you to change your mind. Okay? Thank you.
And you have to watch out for entertainment. All right, you had to be there to appreciate the entertainment, though, so that nickname was well earned, trust me. So next we have Mohammed Ibrahim, and he is a student chapter rep. So Mohammed, go.
Hey, I'm Mohammed Ibrahim from Jordan. I'm student chapter representative for Princess Sumaya University for Technology. Actually, I've joined the AEE family as a member 5 years ago. I've served as a chapter officer for 3 years, and I could definitely tell, like, 5 years ago, I've been a lost student that has don't know the path that I want to take. I can assure you now, 5 years later, I have a very clear path, and I'm glad to be here and to be part of the AEE family. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, AE.
So next up is Jacqueline Stevens, and she is a student chapter rep. So Jacqueline, go get it.
Okay. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, and Kennesaw State College, and we rejuvenated our student chapter after the merge between Southern Poly and Kennesaw State. And the membership is really increasing. We've started going and talking to all the introductory classes, and over the past 2 weeks, we've had 15 students sign up to be interested. Now I'm going to bring them to the meetings and, see what happens. But in 2 weeks, that was just a really big asset for our student chapter. But they're continuing to increase, and we've started where the students, the president, vice president, and all that have to go to, we don't have to, we recommend leadership training, and it is really making a difference in our chapter. They're really looking at each other's assets and how to feed off them instead of, kind of button heads a little bit sometimes. They're really feeding off each other's assets. So we're doing really well. And I'm also the scholarship person for the Georgia chapter.
All right.
And I must add that she's a scholarship recipient back in the day, so I'm
Oh.
very proud.
Well,
Yes.
that's awesome. It's nice when it comes full circle.
Yes.
Thank you for that. At the end of the table, not to be ignored, hello, Devetta, we have Devetta Thatcher, AE chapter rep, and go ahead.
Well, thank you, Tim, and thank you for letting me take your seat here. It's interesting, my picture's up there, so you were expecting me. I am the president of the New York City chapter. I am also the C-Wheel lead for the New York City group, which is one of the first groups of C-Wheel that was established in the United States. We're very excited about that. Our C-Wheel liaison, Sissy Bai, and I worked very hard with Lori and other members of the C-Wheel board to make that happen. I am actually a proof positive of diversity and inclusion within AEE in New York. I am the first woman president. And thank you. Most importantly, when I came on the board, my mission is to improve the diversity. The nature of our profession is changing, and we need to have our boards represent the changing complexion that is the energy field today. So that's one of the things that I am committed to. As a group in New York, we are definitely committed to our community service, having made a number of donations, both to the students through the open donation and also through C-Wheel in honor of the New York Institute of Technology dean who recently passed, Dean Anid. So, and to Ruth and to Altuman's scholarships also. That is never a question when it is brought up as a motion in our meetings. It is one of the first things that we all open our hearts and our wallets for, because it shows our commitment. As we were hit with COVID, we took our meetings virtual. We missed 1 month, but then we went virtual. And I know many of the chapters across the nation did the same. We found that it was a very, very successful format. We have yet to return to in-person, but we are hoping to do so in January, if it's the appropriate thing to do in New York. And I just wanted to say that the community has stayed together, that the cohesion of the energy community in New York City is still alive and well. And we're very much looking forward to being three-dimensional with one another again. So, thank you.
Thank you. So just to add a couple of things to that, Devetta, I noticed Fred Goldner walked that back in. I wondered, did anybody tell you what the term of the president is for the chapter in New York? I mean, congratulations for being the first woman. Did they suggest to you it was only a year or two?
Yes, but I understand the service to AEE is lifelong.
Yes. Just so you're aware of it. But again, and congratulations on being the first woman president. You know, let me just slide a comment in for that. As many of you know, I'm privileged to be able to teach CEM courses. And I can promise you, over the last few years, there have been more and more women attending those courses. And I will tell you, they are better prepared and more dedicated than many of their male counterparts. So, God bless you, and thanks for doing that. Okay, so this is a little different in terms of how we're handling this one. We've put a whole bunch of people up here with a lot of diverse comments, backgrounds, and really, it's free form. So any questions you want to ask on any of these folks, they're happy to answer. Danielle, are you handling the virtual side, you and Sharon? Okay. So yell if you've got something in there, we'll make sure we get them. You got a handful.
Wow.
Do you want to call the people out, or what do you want to do? You don't have questions? Okay. Well, do you mind? Go ahead.
So from Andrew Penner, we have a question about the Altuman Scholarship. He says, can you confirm that the Altuman Scholarship is open to everyone? When students apply for scholarships, should they choose the scholarship, or does the foundation board decide on the selection and the scholarship awards?
I think the short answer to that is it is intended to be for the three most outstanding candidates without regard to anything else. Is that true?
That is true.
That is true. So, yes, it's open to everybody. It won't matter, I don't believe, if you specifically apply for that. If you're one of the top three candidates, your name will go there.
That's correct.
Mr. Kent?
And just as a follow-up, that 5,000 is the same no matter which country you're in.
Yes.
Yeah.
The three Altuman, just like our executive director just mentioned, is three Altuman scholarship, $5,000 each, no matter the place on the planet that you're located in. If you submit your application through your local chapter and you get awarded that, you will have $5,000 for your scholarship for your higher education. The only requirement that we need from you, if you don't have an English background, we need your transcripts, your grades, everything translated in English. That will be easier for a scholarship committee to select the people that they deserve the scholarships. That's the only requirement on top of the application per se.
Priscilla can probably handle those in Spanish, though, if it comes. But yeah, so make it. You recognize that the selection process will be involved, and the better data you provide, the easier you make it on the selection committee. So, but yes, okay, Danielle, what's next?
Can members still purchase books without the book subscription add-on? Mel, can you explain more in detail, especially for the international members?
Sure. So you can definitely still purchase each individual book. The new member benefit is it gives you only digital access, so there's no print capability once you're on there, but all of the content is searchable, and you can highlight as you read. We still recommend that you purchase the book if you're planning to use that on any of your exams or training courses for any open note exams. But as far as all of the books, they're available both in print and digital format.
And we should mention that if you choose to take the digital subscription and subsequently buy a book, there's an additional discount, right?
There is, yes.
And how much, do you remember how much it is?
It's an additional 10%.
It's an additional 10%. So
Yeah.
the $35 might be a bargain in any event. If you buy a couple books, it probably pays for itself a couple times. So, okay, Danielle, what else you got?
This one's for the chapter leaders. Are you still doing virtual, or have you transitioned to live meetings? How would you suggest the chapter transition back to a live meeting when everybody is so used to a virtual meeting? Hybrid seems like too much of a change, but is it the way to go?
Devetta, you're on the point there. Go ahead.
Sure. We are talking about hybrid because there are still people who are not comfortable being out in public and being in a group setting like this, as evidenced by the screen in front of us here today. So our hope is to resume our regular meetings in person at half capacity, which is the requirement of the facility that we use at New York Institute of Technology, and to also have the technology enabled to be able to do it hybrid.
Okay. Anybody else want to add to that, chapter-wise?
Adam, what do you guys do?
We,
Go ahead, Adam.
Quite committed to.
Sorry, start that over, Adam, if you don't mind.
So Adam Jennings from the New England chapter. We're still doing completely virtual. We did have a golf fundraiser in person, but otherwise we've been doing still virtual. Just like Devetta said, our goal is definitely to do hybrid. We represent New England. A lot of people can't drive into the greater Boston area, so we do want to be able to reach those other members who can't make in person. But at this point, we're still completely virtual, but we're looking at how to do it hybrid long term.
So Adam, let me see if I understand. The meetings are virtual, but the golf outing not so much? I get it, no worries.
I virtually played.
Yeah,
Depends on your handicap.
I'd probably be better off playing it virtually, trust me. Okay. Anybody else want to add a comment about their chapter meetings?
Yeah, we were online, in 2020. Had a little bit of a hard time getting enough people, but we had a student that really worked to getting people not just in Georgia, but throughout the United States, and have panel board meetings, which really interested the students. But we have now converted to hybrid, and we usually have about anywhere from 4 to 8 students that join online, and then we have 15 to 20 that come to class or come to the meeting. So it's working out pretty well. We're getting more and more online and more in the class, so they're both increasing.
Can I ask a quick follow-up question on that? Have you found the participation rates in your meetings to be increasing, decreasing, or staying about the same with it being virtual?
Being virtual has brought our numbers up significantly, mostly because our room is confined to 90, and we've edged up on that. We've had people turned away because of the fire maximum law, but we've had webinars with 180 people. So it's actually increased the participation by being virtual.
Okay, and I think that all the chapters have done whatever they could do, within their power. I know that in Northern Ohio, we've done some hybrids, and they're tricky, but better than nothing, really. So I think that we're all hoping we can get past this and get to some sense of normalcy as quickly as possible. But Danielle, more things from the virtual world?
Yes.
I'm sorry, Adam, you were going to respond to? I'm curious to hear your answer to that.
I think, ironically, ours have stayed about the same. I think we're getting some different members that usually come, but a lot of our meetings usually had maybe an hour of networking ahead of time, so a lot of the people who came to the meetings for networking aren't coming to the virtual meetings, but we are reaching new members, so it's stayed about level. So.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think that's a fair comment, and there are members who are probably not within reasonable driving range, that if they can attend virtually, you get them in. So there is a little bit of plus to it. But I think you've identified the thing that most of us missed the most, right? It's the networking prior to the meeting, just saying hey to people, maybe even sharing an adult beverage, that sort of thing. So yeah, it does bind the folks together. So that's the hard part to miss. Really. Okay, Danielle.
This is another question from Mel. Is there a membership option for young engineers?
Yes, absolutely. We do have a young energy professional member category, so it's kind of the in-between once you graduate as a student, before you become a full-time professional with years of experience. We have the young energy professional category that is, you qualify if you are under the age of 30, and that price is $50 per year for membership.
Okay. The virtual people seem to be much better about punching out questions, just saying that for the rest of you folks. But go ahead, Danielle.
This question is for AEE leadership. Several certification programs, AEE has several certification programs, but how is AEE leadership coordinating with government locally to implement them as expert programs?
Good. Who'd that question come from? Anonymous, huh? Always scary. It's probably from a local government. Well, Helen, do you want to attack that, or Mary Elise, or?
Okay, I wasn't 100%. No, so it just, it's in the U.S. I know Ray, our business development director, is working hard, working with some of the local governments and seeing how the various programs can get written into the local regulations. And then internationally, we have really our chapters, our assistant directors, or who are now our regional VPs in those areas, the chapter representatives, our training partners, really each and every person that is fighting for that exact thing, getting our certifications written into energy regulations. And they've actually done a very excellent job of doing so. There are several countries that require one or more AE certifications for various things. And that is really, that can really drive, obviously, the certified professionals in the country to continue to get certified, to continue to take AE training and certification programs, and then maintain those. So we find that's a great way to continue to serve the AE mission around the world. And so if any member of any chapter ever has the opportunity to speak on our behalf and share the word about how certified energy managers and energy auditors can help make these local or government programs more beneficial, please do so.
Helen, do you want to add to that, or are you good?
No, she's covered it all.
All right. Thank you, Mary Elise. Danielle?
And the last question I have, I'm going to throw to Priscilla. What are some ways that you can earn AE credits to help renew certification, such as your CEA, when membership doesn't count?
The first part, what do you say? I'm sorry?
What are some ways to earn credits for certification rules, especially for the CEA, when membership doesn't count?
Well, that's very easy. There's a plethora of courses online, in person, obviously first choice AEE. We have membership meetings, the webinars online, and they're for free for members. We have 2 per month. Each one is 1 hour or 0.2 credits per meeting. So if you attend those 2 for 12 months, make the calculations, that's for free, training that you can use toward your certification renewals. All energy-related training qualifies for your AEE certification renewals.
Yeah. And that's fairly well called out on the website, actually.
Correct.
So, yeah. Okay. All right. Well, a couple things. We're slightly ahead of schedule, which for this meeting this is a record. We're never ahead of schedule. All right? That's not a bad thing. So what I'm going to suggest before we get into the chapter recognition awards and some Seawheel awards and some other things, does anybody in the panel want to offer anything? If not, I'm going to suggest that we go to like about a 10-minute break once we handle this question. Go ahead, sir.
I have a question. Do you have do we have as AEE certifications for students that can prepare us for future careers in energy? Or is it still not available?
the in-training certifications. Helen, can you help us with that question?
Yeah, all of our certification programs have an in-training option where you take the training and you take the exam, and then you apply for the in-training, but then if you need additional time to get the experience, when you have the experience, you can apply, and there's no additional fees. You can upgrade from the in-training to the actual certification.
Okay. All right. So anything else from our live or virtual groups? No? Okay. So
Wait, Tim, you can't just open it up like that and not think I'm going to say some more, so. Two things I want to highlight. One is we actually did start a corporate membership for Seawheel this year. So we kind of soft launched it because we were working with AEE, and we've got some new corporate membership initiatives coming out of AEE. So it was a very soft launch, but in 2022 it's going to be a big splash for AEE corporate membership and the option of a Seawheel corporate membership. But I did want to do a shout out to DNV and Leidos because they are the first two Seawheel corporate members that joined on board, and as a company are saying that they're committed to the mission of Seawheel and bringing about a focus on the gender gap in our industry. So I wanted to highlight that and encourage you to go back to your corporations, for those that work in corporations, and talk to them about both the AE membership if you aren't already, and if you are already an AE corporate member, to look at the Seawheel corporate membership as well. And then I also want to highlight that we do have a series of webinars coming up at the end of this month and going into November, 3 webinars as a career development series. And so if you want more information about that, I will say we get men and women, so don't feel like if you're a guy, you shouldn't be signing up to participate in these events, because, I mean, the information is really awesome and really does apply to everybody. But it's talking about the energy transition and 3 different focuses of career opportunities for energy professionals. And the panels, though, are all women, but it's really beneficial information for anyone. So if you're interested in learning more about that or sharing that with your members, just go to seawheel.org, CWEEL.org, and you'll see information there in our calendar about those upcoming webinars. And then the last thing I want to say is I've been inspired. Fred Goldner always inspires me, and frankly, I wouldn't be here if it weren't for Fred. So while he's sitting there in the back, I just want to do a quick shout out and say that I cannot commit the Seawheel board to a challenge, but I can personally put a challenge out there. And I'm so thrilled that there's a Ruth Whitlock scholarship. It just, I mean, she is another person who's so affected me at the AEE and made me truly be part of the family. And because that is a scholarship also for women in the organization, I just want to put a personal challenge that my husband, who's here also, Gerald, and I will match up to $1,000 for anyone who is contributing specifically for the Ruth Whitlock Scholarship.
Thank you. Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you so much.
we need to get a few more scholarships going. I think we can really generate some excitement here, but thank you, Lori. That's very nice of you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, Fure, are you? Oh! Oh!
500.
Take a bow. Thank you very much. Well, it's not going to take long, Lori. You might as well write the check. Okay.
I'm ready.
Oh, of course, virtually, you'll be glad to know Fure. Stand up, take a bow. Fure accepted Lori's challenge and said she's kicking in $500 right now. So, thank you.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Fatu.
Wait a minute,
Yeah,
and
we got another
Fatu has something to say.
We have 1,000 here.
Oh!
Thank
So
you
our
much.
incoming president, Fatu Aragon, has accepted it for $1,000. So thank you.
Thank you.
Kind of,
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for.
you can see how quickly and how loved Ruth Whitlock is.
Ruth is
So,
amazing.
yeah.
Yes.
She deserves it fully.
Amen.
Tim,
Hi.
can I say one last thing? First of all, that's awesome. And Ruth really wanted to be here. I tried to get her to fit in my suitcase, but she loves all of you, and you all mean the world to her. So thank you for this, all of you. That's very sweet. And then the last thing I wanted to say was just normally at AE World, we hold the International Business Meeting on Thursday. And since so many are virtual, we want to include everyone. So we're actually going to hold the meeting in January. It'll be the third week in January. We'll send out an invitation to everybody, but we'll kind of hold that meeting. It'll be kind of like a launch of 2022 in our international business operations. So we'll just be looking for an invitation for that.
Okay, thanks, Mary Lise. Okay, so if there is nothing further from either our virtual attendees or our live group, what I'd like to do is take a very short break, maybe 8 minutes. We need to shuffle some people on and off the stage so it's easier to do the awards. So why don't we take, well, let's call it 10 minutes. We'll reconvene at 1:52 Central Time. So 10 minutes. Don't anybody get lost. You virtual folks, hang in there.
It's 1:52.
But we'll get set up, and then we're going to do awards. You don't want to miss the awards.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is a fun part of the program. This is award time. So for all of you who have worked diligently, this is your chance to be recognized. So I'm waiting for the screens to come up virtually, and we'll get everybody settled here. So let's take a moment, and then we're going to pass out the hardware. It's always a good moment, right? So this portion of our afternoon is going to be consumed with the chapter recognition awards. And then when we finish with this, we'll take a break, change locations, and then we're going to go to the International Regional Awards. So we'll relocate for that. But let's get started. Now we're going to have, regrettably, a situation where many of our awardees are not here for a variety of reasons, okay? Mostly travel restrictions. So those who have live folks here will give you a chance to say hello. And those of you who are winners, although not here, will just give you a little acknowledgement and say, well done. So. Okay? It's always a moving target up here. No worries. So chapter recognition award winners, the first thing we have are our best chapter newsletters. And our friends from Lebanon, Elaine and company, take a bow. You're welcome to come up and say a few words if you'd like. And of course, we're doing pictures over there. So pictures first. Sure. Don't be bashful. This is one of the only times you get your picture taken. There's no trouble associated with it. Else there. Send Phil. There'll be too much walking. Anybody want to say anything? Or? Oh, sure, why not?
Thank you.
Want to say something? Okay, well, you're welcome then. Hey, Buster, you probably should be in the pictures too. You got a while. All right. So thanks again and congratulations to the Lebanon chapter. Best domestic chapter newsletter, the Greater Philadelphia chapter. Anybody here from Philadelphia? I don't have that on my note sheet. So, all right. In any event, congratulations. The best chapter website, and again, I think we may be short on folks here, but Columbia River chapter up in Oregon. Those guys do a great job. I've been up there. And internationally, the Greater Toronto chapter. So, Kosek, do you take credit for that? Give me a nod. Okay. Community Service Awards. So this will be the Kolkata chapter. So Benoit, if you're still on. Benoit, are you on? Okay, don't see him, but I don't really see all the folks on one screen either, so no worries. But that's India, good job. And of course, the New York chapter, wow, that's a pretty impressive piece of, what was the community service for New York chapter?
Davera can answer that question.
Mm-hmm.
What was the community service that you were awarded for?
Community service was in part the starting of the Seawheel chapter, but it was also our various scholarships and an additional scholarship that we gave to 2 worthy students in Ghana last year.
Okay.
Outside of AEE.
So the New York chapter did a number of innovative things in addition to Seawheel. They also did some scholarships of their own, support for Ghana, so congratulations.
Great, thank you.
Do you wish to speak, or are you good? You good? Okay. We never want you to miss the opportunity, all right, so. The best student chapter support, my goodness, Lebanon chapter. You guys are busy. We'll send you over to the picture desk, and then I'm going to assume that you don't want to talk again. I do want you to, but when you do good work, it should be reported and recognized, so congratulations.
One step away from the wall. There we go. Good, good. Put it nice and tight. Good. There we go. Tip it down. Good, right there. Excellent. One more. One more. What the heck? Great, thank you.
Congratulations.
Tim, I just want to say
Oh.
about this. Yeah. So I just want to say that we're really glad that we received this award, but what's more important that to share with you what actually we did for the students in Lebanon. So Ziad already told you about the financial crisis, and it was really difficult. So actual professionals weren't able to find jobs because of the crisis and the COVID. So how about students finding internships? So this was like an impossible mission for any student to find an internship in Lebanon. And our chapter came up with this idea to start a virtual internship program for our students who has to graduate, and they have to fulfill some requirements and take some internship program or to participate in an internship program. So we started this internship program over 8 weeks. We had speakers from all over the world, from AEE, from international countries, and from local professionals. And we had I think 6 different tracks, professional tracks, to train those people on different topics, like eight tracks. So like topics on lighting, on HVAC, on industrial processes, and different renewable energy things. And it was really a great success. We had students from different universities in Lebanon, and we just accepted few students from outside Lebanon. We wanted to try to make it regional. So we had students from Kuwait, from Palestine, from Tunisia, and Jordan, I think, and Australia, Saudi Arabia. And hopefully, in the next year, we'll continue with this program, and we'll try to make it a regional internship program, just to reach out to all the students in the Middle East and North Africa region. Yeah, so thank you, AEE, and just wanted to share with you this experience. Thank you.
And then before you leave, Tim,
yes,
if I may.
Of course you may. You go right ahead.
Alan, come over here. So the previous award went to the best newsletter, and this guy here standing next to me is the person behind the newsletter. So we pretend that it's a team effort. And he's the one who pretends that the most, but it's actually one person that does everything. So the award practically goes to him, but it's in another person's name.
Well deserved.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Okay, best student chapter support domestically is the Long Island chapter, and my notes say we don't, unfortunately, have anybody here for that. So, the best chapter conference or expo, the Alberta chapter. So, Fury, come on. Way to go. So was this live or virtual?
Tim is asking you a question.
Was it live or virtual?
The meeting was virtual.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to say anything? You're welcome to. You're not required to.
I'm not required to. Well, I just want to say this award, I want to thank the board members for the AEE Alberta chapter. They really worked really hard throughout COVID period to be able to pull this off. And I just really want to recognize that this award really goes to them.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
Thanks.
Congratulations. And of course, this isn't a surprise to me. The North Texas chapter won the best domestic one. They typically put on a really good show. So don't believe there's anybody here from that, right? So the best, sorry, I have too many different notes. Best chapter meeting was Greater Toronto Area Chapter. And that's an international winner, of course, at the chapter level. And again, congratulations. I don't think they were able to attend. NorCal chapter was the best domestic chapter meeting, and I wish we had somebody here to tell us what that was about, but you'll just have to trust us. Best overall chapter performance, the South Africa chapter. Now, I wish we had those folks around because they work very hard and do a great job, so I'm confident that was good. Now, the domestic winner, I don't even know these guys. New York City chapter? My goodness, all they've done is write checks and collect awards, so God love them. You deserve this one more than anything. Best chapter performance, New York City domestically, congratulations. Do you want to, or just wave? Totally up to you if you want to say something. Lots of waves from those guys in attendance. All right. So the, and I should mention that New York City and South Africa are also getting a check for $1,000 for best. So if you just want to endorse that, we'll put it back in one of the scholarship funds. No. You've been generous, and we appreciate that. Come on.
The camera is
Any
here.
place you want.
That way people in the Zoom
We
can
want you by
see.
the camera, though. They've seen all they want to see of me. Thank you. You're welcome.
I just want to acknowledge our newest board member, Sissy Bai, who is not here yet today, but she has been the new blood that we have brought into our chapter, who, when the conversation of applying for chapter awards came up, she said, oh, well, I'll draft that. And from there, my colleague Rob Meyer helped with applications, other colleagues stepped forward, and I just want to, again, bring to light the importance of getting the new blood into our chapters. I love the group on my board. They have, as was referenced earlier, a lifetime of service to the Association of Energy Engineers. And the balance between that and bringing in the young people who are the future of our association is very, very important. So congratulations to Sissy Bai, who is the one who helped us to write all of these applications for the awards. We are honored to receive them. And we will use all of this momentum to help make the New York City chapter much more powerful presence in the New York City area. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. It is true, it does get into your blood. I think I've only been involved for 40 years, so I have no idea what she's talking about. So next up are the Seawheel Chapter Champion Awards. If I could get Lori Wiegand to come up, I'm going to have her handle this, and I'll get out of your way for a while.
Hello again, everyone. And so we give out 2 awards every year to the chapter and individual who are the best champions of Seawheel. We give one out for the United States for the chapter and individual, and we give one out internationally for the Seawheel champion chapter and individual. So we'll start with the local, US. And so, of course, once again, we are very excited to give this award to, drumroll, the New York City chapter. And the reason for that, come on up, Devetta. And again, we do also wish Sissy were here because Sissy is getting the individual Seawheel Champion Award. And this also comes with a $500 award that is to be used for future Seawheel programming. And but this year, the New York City chapter launched their Seawheel group. And I was able to participate in January in that inaugural event. They have since had additional meetings. It's been very well attended, and it has the full support of the entire AEE board for the New York City chapter as well as their membership. So they are doing great things and moving forward to that next level of development of Seawheel at the local level. So they do a quick picture?
Yes, absolutely. Go
Great.
ahead.
I have to say, I feel like that college valedictorian or high school valedictorian that everybody hates because they keep going up for yet another award. So.
And, you know, even though she's not here, I just want to say, because I've had the pleasure of working with Sissy, she's a very active participant on the chapter liaison committee meetings. They happen on a monthly basis. She's very engaged, and we couldn't ask for more than a chapter to choose a liaison who's really passionate and willing to put some time in to achieving the mission. So Sissy will receive that award, and we're really pleased to have her be part of our Seawheel team. The second award is on the international side, and again, well, let me just say who it is first. This is going to the India Kolkata chapter, and we had, again, a launch of the Seawheel group this year, and they held 2 events. I was able to participate in the event in August, but they also had an event, and I just wanted to highlight the speaker that they had. It's a woman entrepreneur. Her name is Dr. Rashi Gupta, and she said she is fondly known as the Battery Wali of India. She has pioneered the manufacturing of advanced lithium batteries in India, along with the world's smartest lithium battery. There's a number of things she's been involved in, and she was the speaker at their initial or inaugural event for the Seawheel group in Kolkata. Again, great support from the AEE chapter board, all of the individuals in that chapter, and really excited to see what they're going to be doing in 2022. They wanted to be here in person because of COVID. They just weren't able to get here. But again, the $500 award and the plaque. And so to the chapter and also individually to Piali Sengupta, and to Dr. Sarbani Mitra from the Kolkata, India chapter as the individual Sea Wheel champions.
Okay, we do have some new chapters to welcome. So Guatemala chapter, anybody here from Guatemala? No? Well, come on up.
Doctor Samuel Monterroso, to the stage.
Are you going to translate?
I don't have it in here. He's going to mail them. But we want a few words from the new chapter.
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, everyone. Thank you all. Our chapter start in July, and we make it, 2 webinars, and next week we make it the 3rd webinar. We are very happy and move forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And I always feel bad about putting someone on the spot who's not a native English speaker, but that was well done. Thank you very much. So, also a new chapter, REES Amman chapter. So we have a bunch of people from Jordan, but does anybody want to speak on behalf of the chapter? Yeah. Okay. So take a bow. Thank you for all your hard work. And I know, of course, Sammer over there is relentless about starting student chapters. He is, of course, cycling off the board because he's finishing his term as past president, but there's a rumor he doesn't sleep. Might be well-founded, too. Also, the Qatar chapter, and unfortunately, we don't have anybody here, but would you like to say something for him? Do you know? Oh, Fatou, excellent.
So Qatar chapter, actually we worked together and we explained to them how important to join AE family. And the head of GORD, which is the Gulf Organization for Research and Development, agreed to take part and also convey the message to the members of the organization to join AE. And I believe they also are targeting to become a corporate member as well. So welcome to them to our AE family.
Thank you.
As you can see, international growth is awesome. Right? So, 2 new student chapters, both in Sudan, the University of Khartoum, and Omdurman Islamic University student chapter. So great to see. Student chapters are particularly challenging, so it's great to see those getting developed. Not only are they challenging, they're critically important. So I guess those two go together, right? So we need them. Just a quick thank you to the folks who have donated to the International Travel Fund. Even though this year it's been difficult to get our international friends to attend for COVID reasons, not to mention visas and quarantines and all the craziness that's going on. But Chicago, Indiana, New England, Northern Ohio, Piedmont, Southern Ohio, Eastern Africa, Hamilton chapter were all generous, all provided generous donations to the travel fund. We will save those, and next year we'll have to get a much bigger room. So we're looking forward to that. So, well, that pretty well wraps up our chapter awards. We're going to take a break, reassemble downstairs in 201, no, 10, that's the first room. You'll find it. All right. So that's everything's going to be happening right there. These will be the International Regional Awards. And these are pretty important. Normally I'd have Carl Salas here to tell you this, but for those of you who have served as regional vice presidents and those types of things, you know how tedious it is to go through the award submissions and make selections. And I get nods even at the international level, so I know. So many of these submissions are so good, you really almost feel bad not giving everybody an award, right? But ultimately, you have to make a selection. So These, of course, are international awards. The big winners, if you will be tomorrow night at the banquet. But these folks who are getting these awards, I will promise you these are exceptional. So look forward to it. In the meantime, that'll put a wrap on our chapter development meeting. Thanks for your attendance. For you folks live, there's still food. It's not all bad. And for you virtual folks, thanks again. You probably have a link for the next meeting for the International Regional Award, so we look forward to seeing you then. In the meantime, thank you very much. We'll see you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.